Have you ever watched someone in their 70s or beyond move with the energy of a much younger person and wondered, what's their secret? Maybe it's a neighbor who still tends their garden with vigor, a friend who walks miles without breaking a sweat, or even a glimpse of yourself in the mirror, realizing you're still doing things that others your age can only dream of. The truth is, aging doesn't hit everyone the same way. For some, the years pile on limitations, slower steps, weaker grips, or a mind that feels just a little less sharp. But for others, the years seem to sharpen their resilience, their strength, their spark. If you're still able to do even a handful of the things we're about to explore, you're not just getting older, you're aging like a legend, defying the odds in ways that science links to longer, healthier, and more independent lives. This isn't about superhuman feats or chasing eternal youth. It's about the quiet, everyday superpowers, small actions that reveal your body and mind are still firing on all cylinders. These are the abilities most people start to lose in their 70s, not because of age itself, but because of years of subtle neglect. The good news? These skills can often be reclaimed, strengthened, or preserved with small, intentional steps. In this journey, we're going to uncover 10 specific things that most 70-year-olds can no longer do. If you can still do them, you're not just lucky, you're extraordinary. And if you've noticed some of these slipping, don't worry, every day is a chance to rebuild. Stick with me, because the final superpower might be the most surprising of all, and it could change how you see your future. Let's start with a truth that's often ignored. Aging isn't a straight line to decline. Society tells us to expect less as we grow older, less strength, less energy, less clarity. We're told to slow down, to be cautious, to accept that certain things are just part of getting old. But that's only half the story. Much of what we call aging is really the result of disuse. Muscles weaken when they're not challenged. Balance fades when it's not practiced. Memories blur when the mind isn't engaged. The body doesn't betray us at 70 or 80, it simply reflects the choices we've made over time. And the people who age like legends? They're the ones who keep moving, keep learning, keep showing up for life in ways that most others have long since abandoned. Take a moment to think about your own days. Are there things you do effortlessly that others your age struggle with? Maybe you climb stairs without a second thought, or maybe you can still carry a heavy load without strain. These aren't just random abilities, they're signals of vitality, proof that your body and mind are still working in harmony. Let's dive into the first superpower and see where you stand. You can stand up from a low chair without using your hands. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Just getting up from a seat. But this small movement is a masterclass in strength, balance, and coordination. It calls on your quadriceps, your core, your glutes, and your sense of stability, all working together in a split second. For most 70-year-olds, this ability starts to fade. At first, they might lean forward a bit, using their hands to push off the armrests. Over time, that push becomes a necessity, and eventually, standing up feels like a daunting task. But if you can rise smoothly from a low chair, no hands needed, you're holding on to a rare kind of functional power. Consider Maria, 74, who didn't realize how much she'd been relying on her arms until she tried to stand up during a power outage with no armrest to grab. She wobbled, nearly fell, and felt a pang of fear. That moment was her wake-up call. She started practicing chair stands every day, slowly lowering herself and rising without using her hands, 5 times in a row, then 10. Within a month, her legs felt stronger, her balance steadier. She wasn't just standing up, she was reclaiming her independence. If you can do this, your lower body is still a powerhouse, and that's no small thing. It's a sign you're aging with strength that keeps you free to move through the world on your terms. Next, you can walk a mile without stopping or feeling winded. Walking is something we take for granted until it becomes a challenge. A brisk mile, about 15 to 20 minutes for most, requires cardiovascular endurance, muscle stamina, and efficient breathing. Studies show that walking speed and distance are among the strongest predictors of longevity. People who can maintain a steady pace into their 70s tend to live longer and stay healthier, not just because they're fit, but because their heart, lungs, and muscles are still communicating effectively. Think about James, 71, who loved his daily walks but noticed he was slowing down, pausing to catch his breath after just a few blocks. He thought it was just old age creeping in until a friend challenged him to pick up the pace. James started small, walking to the end of his street a little faster each day, then around the block, then farther. He focused on breathing deeply and swinging his arms to keep rhythm. 6 weeks later, he was covering a mile without breaking a sweat, and his energy throughout the day had soared. If you can walk a mile at a good clip, your body is still fueled by resilience. That's not just fitness. It's a signal that your entire system is aging with vigor. You can balance on one foot for 15 seconds without wobbling. This might feel like a playground trick, but it's one of the most telling signs of neurological and muscular health. Balancing on one foot demands a symphony of systems: your inner ear for equilibrium, your brain for coordination, your muscles for stability, and your joints for control. As we age, these systems can start to drift out of sync, making balance one of the first things to go. Falls are a leading cause of injury for older adults, and poor balance is often the root cause. But if you can stand on one foot, steady and strong, you're defying that risk. Lila, 76, discovered her balance was slipping when she tripped on a curb and barely caught herself. Shaken, she started practicing balance exercises every morning, standing on one foot while brushing her teeth, first holding the sink, then letting go. She counted seconds, aiming for 10, then 15. Over time, she felt steadier, not just physically but mentally. Her confidence grew, and she stopped hesitating before steps or uneven paths. If you can hold that one-footed stance, your body and brain are still in tune, and that's a superpower that keeps you moving fearlessly. You can get down to the floor and back up without help. This is a big one. Getting down to the floor, whether to play with a grandkid, pick up a dropped key, or stretch, and then rising again without grabbing furniture or calling for help is a full-body test. It requires strength in your legs and core, flexibility in your hips and knees, and enough confidence to trust your body. For many 70-year-olds, the floor becomes a no-go zone, not because they don't want to be there, but because they're afraid they'll be stranded. That fear shrinks their world, limiting what they'll try. Sam, 73, felt that fear when he hesitated to kneel at a family picnic. He wasn't sure he could get back up, and the thought embarrassed him. Determined to change, he started practicing, sitting on a low stool, then a cushion, then the floor, each time focusing on using his legs to rise. He added gentle squats and lunges to his routine, building strength slowly. 2 months later, he was not only getting down and up with ease, but also joining his grandkids on the grass for games. If you can navigate the floor without a second thought, you're carrying a level of mobility that's rare and precious. You can carry a heavy load, like 2 full grocery bags, for a short distance. Strength isn't just about lifting weights. It's about the practical power to handle life's demands. Carrying groceries, a laundry basket, or a grandchild requires grip strength, arm endurance, core stability, and balance. As we age, muscle mass naturally declines, a process called sarcopenia, but those who maintain functional strength can still manage these tasks without strain. Losing this ability doesn't just make errands harder, it signals a broader loss of independence. Emma, 70, noticed her arms trembling when she carried her grocery bags from the car. She'd always prided herself on managing everything in one trip, but now she needed breaks. Instead of accepting it, she started small, squeezing a stress ball to build grip, lifting light dumbbells, and practicing carrying a backpack with books around her house. Soon, she was back to her one-trip grocery hauls, feeling stronger and more capable. If you can carry a heavy load without struggling, your muscles are still serving you well, and that's a sign of aging with power. You can climb 2 flights of stairs without stopping. Stairs are a brutal but honest test of endurance and strength. Each step upward challenges your heart, lungs, and legs, demanding they work together under pressure. Climbing stairs without pausing or clinging to the railing shows that your cardiovascular system is still robust and your muscles can handle resistance. For many 70-year-olds, stairs become a hurdle, avoided in favor of elevators or escalators. But those who can climb with ease are holding on to a vital edge. Robert, 75, realized he was avoiding stairs after panting his way up to his doctor's office. Determined to reclaim his stamina, he started practicing at home, climbing 1 flight slowly, then 2, resting as needed. He paired it with deep breathing exercises to boost lung capacity. Within weeks, he was tackling stairs with confidence, and his overall energy improved. If you can climb 2 flights without feeling winded, your body is still a well-oiled machine, pushing back against the years. You can recall details from a conversation you had yesterday. Memory isn't just about remembering names or dates. It's a window into your brain's health. Clear recall of recent events, like what you discussed with a friend or what you ate for lunch, shows that your neurons are firing, your blood flow is strong, and your mind is engaged. While occasional forgetfulness is normal, significant memory lapses can signal deeper issues. Those who stay sharp into their 70s often have one thing in common. They keep their brains active through reading, puzzles, or meaningful conversations. Clara, 72, panicked when she blanked on a neighbor's story during a chat. She worried it was the start of decline, but instead of retreating, she leaned in. She started journaling her days, playing word games, and making a point to summarize conversations in her head. Her recall improved, and so did her confidence. If you can remember the little details of life, your mind is still agile, and that's a superpower that keeps you connected to the world. You can touch your toes without bending your knees. Flexibility is often the first casualty of aging, as joints stiffen and muscles tighten from lack of use. Being able to reach down and touch your toes, without bending your knees, shows that your hamstrings, lower back, and hips are still pliable. This kind of mobility isn't just about showing off. It's about preventing injuries, maintaining posture, and keeping daily movements fluid. Many 70-year-olds lose this ability, making tasks like tying shoes or gardening harder. Anita, 77, struggled to bend down to weed her garden, her back and legs protesting. Frustrated, she started a daily stretching routine, gentle hamstring stretches, forward bends, and yoga poses like downward dog. Over time, her flexibility returned, and she was back in her garden, moving with ease. If you can touch your toes, your body is still limber, and that's a sign you're aging with grace and resilience. You can turn your head to look over your shoulder without pain. Neck mobility is something we rarely notice until it's gone. Being able to glance behind you, whether while driving, dancing, or just checking your surroundings, requires a supple spine, loose muscles, and healthy joints. As we age, stiffness creeps in, often from poor posture or lack of movement, making this simple action painful or limited. Those who maintain this range of motion are better equipped to stay active and safe. George, 74, noticed his neck stiffening when he struggled to check his blind spot while driving. Instead of shrugging it off, he started doing gentle neck stretches every morning, rolling his shoulders and turning his head side to side. Within a month, his range of motion improved, and he felt more confident on the road. If you can look over your shoulder with ease, your spine is still flexible, and that's a quiet but powerful sign of vitality. Finally, you wake up feeling rested and ready for the day. Sleep is the ultimate reset, repairing your body, refreshing your mind, and recharging your energy. Waking up clear-headed and energized at 70 or beyond is a sign that your hormones, nervous system, and immune system are still in balance. Poor sleep accelerates aging, raising risks for everything from heart disease to cognitive decline. But good sleep? It's like a daily dose of youth, keeping you sharp and strong. Evelyn, 78, was waking up groggy, dragging through her mornings. She thought it was just her age until she made a few changes. No screens an hour before bed, a consistent bedtime, and morning sunlight to reset her rhythm. Within weeks, she was waking up refreshed, her mood and focus transformed. If you wake up feeling ready to tackle the day, your body is still healing itself beautifully, and that's the ultimate superpower. As we weave through these 10 superpowers, it's clear they're not just random skills, they're threads in a larger tapestry of vitality. Each one, from standing without hands to sleeping soundly, is a testament to how your body and mind have carried you through decades. If you recognize yourself in even a few of these, you're not just aging, you're thriving in ways that defy expectations. You're proof that the years don't have to mean decline. Sometimes, they mean growth, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for what your body can do. But what if some of these superpowers feel out of reach? That's okay. The beauty of being human is that we can rebuild. Strength returns with small, consistent efforts. Balance improves with practice. Memory sharpens with engagement. Every morning is a fresh start to reclaim what time has tried to take. Think about Maria, James, Lila, and the others. They didn't start as superheroes. They started with one small step, one moment of resolve, one decision to keep showing up for themselves. So, where do you stand today? Which of these superpowers do you still wield, and which might you want to strengthen? Maybe it's committing to a daily walk, practicing balance while brushing your teeth, or stretching before bed. Whatever it is, know this: you're still here, still capable, still writing your story. Aging like a legend isn't about perfection. It's about persistence, curiosity, and the courage to keep moving forward. If this journey resonated with you, if even one of these superpowers reminded you of your own strength, take a moment to reflect. Share your thoughts. What's one small step you'll take today to stay vibrant? Your story might inspire someone else to keep going. And as you move through your days, carry this truth: the years don't define you. Your choices do. Keep rising, keep thriving, and keep aging like the legend you are.